and I'm just gonna give you guys my thoughts on Robotherium because after I recorded the last episode, the first episode, I started another save and I did a hop, skip, and a jump ahead to get a bit of a sense about the game and how things work. And so I'm gonna load that one up for the sake of this review. Because first things first, we are not going to be moving forward with the Let's Play for the foreseeable future. So we're going to talk about mechanics real quick. And keep in mind that everything I'm saying is subject to change because this is an early access game. Right off the bat, there are the factions. And they've got, each has a little benefit that you can tap into when you're going into a mission as you build your reputation. And the decisions you make during a mission will shape the situation you find yourself in. Now, your equipment. First thing I'll point out, you only get a team of 5. Which you wouldn't think would be a problem, but next thing you know, you're running up against a enemy force that is quite a bit larger than 5 people. As you can probably guess, this very quickly becomes problematic, as you find yourself running up against forces that are just more numerous, harder hitting, etc., etc. But so let's talk about equipment real quick. Each droid gets 6 points of equipment: a top, a framework, weapon, gadget, bottom, accessory that affects stats like their shields, their structure, their resistance, their regeneration, their power, their critical skill, and their speed, which determines when they can attack. Now, you've got a skill tree, which is it's pretty interesting. The outermost tier are what I would call your active skills, and your inner, as you move more and more towards the center, you get skills that are designed to boost either the power of your active skills or your passive stats. And obviously, I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to because I'm sure someone will bring it up if I don't. The modules you equip influence what is going to they influence your stats sometimes quite significantly, and they cover your weapons, they cover your mobility, your speed, how much raw damage you're able to do. Right here, we have to decide if, I'm gonna decide that hitting hard is worth being a tiny bit slower and a tiny bit further back in the order of turns. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Definitely. Take a hit to speed. Upgrade the helmet. There we go. Okay. Here in the hangar you can buy more mechs. Right now, your personality, it doesn't matter. The personality of your mechs doesn't matter. Here you can buy special equipment and sell things. Here you can build special stuff. I honestly haven't bothered because it feels like a lot of what I build I end up not being able to apply to my mechs. Arena is for multiplayer. Absolutely no thank you. You can send your mechs on missions like I've been doing. Variety of rewards you can get: weapons, components, experience points, resources. But they feel kind of useless, mainly in that the success seems kind of random. I know it depends partly on having the right kind of mech, but at the end of the day, it often ends up feeling like I'm kind of just spitting into the wind, and the level of the mech I send doesn't matter. I could send a level 1. You know, so that feeling that nothing really matters kind of hurts things a bit. Okay, combat. Let's talk about the combat. Combat is sort of turn-based. It's ordered based on the speed of your droids. Robots. You know what I mean. Now, at the level I'm at, every attack I use delivers, brings special abilities to the field. From attacks that bounce from enemy to enemy, to attacks that reduce, increase damage taken, reduce resistance, reduce their regeneration, etc., etc. They're useful abilities. I would say for me, combat is the least painful thing that you do in this game, in that combat is actually, frankly, quite can be quite rewarding, and sometimes brings a very real sense of stakes, which I absolutely enjoy. I have a lot of fun having a sense of stakes to missions. What's my problem with the combat? Because obviously there's going to be a problem. You guys can probably guess from the general lack of soaring enthusiasm in my voice that I've got a bit of a problem with this game. The main problem with combat is that it's boring. There's never really a sense, or at least a sense that I can pick up on, that what I'm doing matters. Even in the combat, we get things like the overloaded mechanic, which is, it's interesting in theory. I don't have a problem with it per se, but it's one of those things that I think they absolutely could make a little more varied. I think that the combat ends up feeling pretty dull after a while, which in a game like this where stealth really it's not an option. If you're playing, you're gonna have to fight, and that comes with a certain responsibility. If you're going to make fighting a pretty not optional course of action, then fighting has to feel like it really means something. And I don't get that feeling when I'm playing, and it's a problem because I should. Okay, so you level up, and for everything you do, you get new skill. You get new items, some of which are for crafting, others can be sold the black market for a lot of money, and some modules. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a mythic one like that, which is for a droid I don't really even use. But let's talk about back-to-back combat. Okay, so let's just talk about the way missions are structured. It's a dungeon crawler, this game, right off the bat. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I play Dungeons and Dragons. I get it. I get the dungeon crawler game genre. I've got no problem with the dungeon crawler. That being said, I do have a problem with this game, and my problem, unfortunately, is that this game just isn't very fun. In that it's not very replayable. There's never a sense of being hooked. Like, I can't put this game down because after a certain point, you know exactly what's gonna come. You know that you're gonna run into these enemies. You know you're gonna run into these traps, and your odds of triggering that trap are going to be exactly this percentage. It's not like other games I've played where you're moving through the game space, fighting increasingly difficult new enemies, and facing new and interesting traps and challenges, but as you progress, you get a real and in my experience, sometimes pretty dramatic sense of an increased capacity to handle those threats. And I'm not getting it in this game. The odds of success or failure are pretty permanently, from what I've seen, stuck at between 65 and 70%. I never feel like I really see it increase, even as I level up. So I feel like there's a bit of a missed opportunity to have droids that give you bonuses, whether passive or active. Okay, here. So here's a trap. Deactivated, trap dodged. The door's open. You fail. Bonuses have been removed. So there's little things you can find. So here we've got a little bonus to our shields. Here's we can remove some of our danger level and bluff our enemies into going somewhere where we aren't. That would like this, 10% bonus to experience. Destroy the surveillance drone. We get some batteries. Oh, goody. We got some of this stuff. I don't even know what the thoriometer is. It's completely text-based, and I don't know. Can we intimidate this guy? When you intimidate a guard or hack a security camera, you get a look at rooms. So you get to know a little bit that you didn't know before. So you're really rewarded for taking the time. And admittedly, it doesn't take that long to go through and find every single thing. I like that the mission's over. So, okay, what are my thoughts? My final thoughts. And, you know, I don't really ever know why they failed or why they succeeded. So, okay, what do I think this game needs? I think it needs an actual time mechanic like you get in, well, I know for certain you get it in Phantom Doctrine. I believe you get it in XCOM, in the XCOM series as well, where you, as long as you're looking at the globe, time is moving forward. I believe that's one thing that'll be really useful. I think that giving a bit more to the weapons will then make them feel more interesting, where the it's not just a, oh, okay, your attack has increased by X. It becomes a sense of, okay, your attack has increased, and so has your and so has this ability. Like, you are this percentage more likely to do a critical hit. Something like that, where it actually feels a little more significant using your abilities, and just adds that little extra bit of oomph to the modules you decide to equip and the weapons you use. Things that could end up being really quite significant, if you know what I mean. Because as things stand right now, at this stage of the early access, I'm not feeling it. I'm not getting that feeling that the choices I'm making really have a significant influence on how I'm going to play. I'm never really feeling that that sense of guidance by the game, which I think is a problem. I think that's something that really needs to be addressed by the time the game is fully completed. Because as things stand right now, it's once you get to about this point where you're at level 9 story missions, it kind of stops feeling fun. It's just not as fun as it was when you started. There's not really any variation in the missions. And I understand that there's a limit to how much challenge and how much they can shake things up in the missions with this genre, but I truly believe that they can do more. So on the one hand, I'm feeling a little more warm towards it because it's cheap. This game is only about $15-16 on Steam right now, so it's cheap. So if you're looking for a game that's kind of a time waster, a time sink, just play it for something to pick up and throw away without really investing much energy into it, this is a good game. But I really can't say that I would feel good about buying it for anything more than the $15 I spent on it with what I'm seeing now. Anyway, I'm going to keep checking in on this game as it updates, as it moves forward in development. But right now, my advice to everyone out there is hold off. This isn't quite ready to be bought yet. It's not quite ready to be played by anyone who wants to actually have fun shaping and making a story, because the gameplay isn't rewarding enough to make me want to pursue the story, which is a problem. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think from what you've seen in this video. If you've played Robothorium, let me know your thoughts in the video in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How much potential for development do you think this game has? Because I think if they're willing to put the time and effort in, this could turn into a pretty fun game. I'm just not sure that it's going to happen, which is why I can't recommend buying it. Anyway, until next time, everybody, I'm Z, this is Fukari Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful weekend. Well, week.